Halifax Pop Explosion. Our next comedian, she's in here all the way from Toronto. She's a big comedian. Let's all put it together for Adrienne Fisher.
Hey guys, I'm a super big comedian. The name is Adrienne Fish, not Fisher. Super big, well-known comedian. What is this stool? This is nice. This is like something that's in my living room. All right, how we doing, Halifax? Oh, good. You can clap. It's okay. It's not weird. This is great. I'm from Toronto, and I just flew in today, and I'm pumped to be back in Halifax with you guys. I'm having a great summer. I had a great summer. I had a great life. I guess everything's so great. About 2 months ago, I quit my job. I decided I quit my motherfucking day job. Thank you. 2 people really supported me on that. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I've never quit anything in my life. You know, I've always been fired. So this was fan-fucking-tastic. It was actually my mom who told me to quit. My mom is this beautiful British lady, and she's super smart. She's a microbiologist who's in Kenya right now trying to solve the Ebola virus. Like, that's her fucking job. She's super smart, but she totally fucked my hair up as a kid. Just fucked it right up. You boys. What are you guys laughing at? Something funny up here? We had a comedy show?
You are.
Is it me? Oh, fuck. Well, great.
Sorry.
No one laugh at me, because I will call you out on it, okay? Shit gets tense. Stop it. Yeah, my mom fucked my hair up as a kid. She had no idea how to handle it, because no one in my family has this. Like, not my mom or my dad. This is just a freak of mailman. So when I was a little girl, she used to pick it, like with an afro pick. So I had this like giant afro. I was like a fat kid too. Like, I looked like Oprah's vagina. It was awful. And I used to do gymnastics as well as a child, which was a goddamn joke. I was awful at it. But at one point, my coach decided that he was going to put me on a scale and he was going to weigh me. And I was like, I don't know, like 120 pounds, you know, when I was like 6 years old. So I was for sure a little bit of a heifer. But that's a terrible thing to do to a little girl, you know. So I told my mom, and she was pissed. And she yanked me out of gymnastics, threw me into hockey. And that's how I became a lesbian. I like you guys. You guys laugh and then you stop. Like, next. Funny, go on. I like to tell my mom that she made me gay. I'm like, you made me gay. She's like, I did not make you gay. Like, she used to call my crotch my veggie when I was a kid. A veggie, which was confusing because vegetables were also called veggies. Like, it was just used just interchangeably. Like, Adrienne, you must always eat your veggies. She gets it. I like that joke. It's always a slow roll. If anyone needs to explain it to anyone, now's the time. We're breaking for explanations. So I have a beautiful girlfriend who's also gay, which helps tremendously. We've been together for 6 years now. 6 years. Thanks. Thank you. Same people support me who quit my job. I appreciate it. 6 years. Yeah, we haven't had like one pregnancy scare, so we are feeling lucky leses. She's awesome. She's at home right now, doing the dishes where she belongs. Am I right up, Deborah? They know what I'm talking about. A tentative misogynist. I appreciate that. Just fear in his eyes. That's good. We're gonna have kids one day. Me and my girlfriend. We're gonna have kids. But I guess the question is how. And we decided that we're not going to do artificial insemination because apparently it costs like $10,000. Isn't that nuts? It costs like $10,000 and it's not even guaranteed for some like random dude to jizz in a cup. I'm like, fuck that shit. Just gonna have a threesome? For this guy? Get a little direct deposit for free. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about it. You know what I'm talking about? A tentative high five for a threesome? Really? No, I'm talking about it. Better, but you know. Step up your game, Halifax. We're having threesomes. What am I doing up here? It's crazy though. $10,000? That's nuts. You know, now that I quit my job, I'm doing like all kinds of super sketchy shit to save money. Like, okay, I was taking a cab the other day. It was me, my girlfriend, and this other girl. Know what I'm saying? No, I wish. It was the three of us, and it was going to be kind of an expensive cab ride. So I was trying to barter with the cabbie. You know when you do this thing where you're trying to, I'm like, listen, buddy, turn your meter off. I'm going to give you like a $15 flat rate. And he was like, no, I lose all kinds of money, no. Okay, listen, buddy, there's 3 ladies here. We'll each show you one of our nipples. $15 flat rate. And I looked at me, he's like, yeah, okay, sounds pretty good. So we get into this cab, we take the cab ride, and we all pay our money, and we went to go do the nipple show thing, and we're all like, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. He's like, oh, no. One at a time. Like, it was like super creepy. And then he wanted to see my girlfriends a second time. I was like, this is fucked up. We're getting out of here now. So we get out of the cab, and we're like feeling like proud of ourselves, but also strangely violated. Like, we just saved so much money by showing our nipples. Feminism! Anyway, so later that night, we had to get back into a cab, but at this point, we were way too wasted to nipple negotiate. So we're like, fuck it. Just run your meter, whatever it comes to, we'll pay it. And we're like sitting in this cab, and we're dreading what the fare is gonna be. We're like, oh fuck. We're like, oh god, it's gonna be so expensive. Like, oh god. It came to $17. $17, which means we saved $2. That's not bad. That's not bad. $2. That's not bad. Yeah, divided by 3. That's like 60 cents a nipple we charge, guys. 60 cents a nip. This is bullshit. I don't know if you guys can see my nips through this airtight gay sports bra I've got on. But these are at least, you know, $3 nipples, I would say. Maybe $4 for the left one, because he's out of the gate faster, you know what I mean? When you're... No one races their nipples? Come on. Go home, raise your nipples. The right one lags. It doesn't perform. I don't know, the left one, the air hits it. It's like, oh yeah, fucking party. But the right one, like, ooh, buy me things. Like, it is frustrating. Like, super sexy. Actually, for a long time, I thought a semi, you know, guys get semis? I'm looking at you. You know what I'm talking about? I thought a semi was when half of it was hard, and then just like half of it was just soft like that. It would like take a while. Eventually you get it up there. I don't know. You overshoot it a couple times. Like, oh my god! Can anyone do that? Because now's the time. But they don't teach you this shit in school, you know? How might I know what a semi is? You know, and they don't teach you any of that stuff. Like, the first time I masturbated, it happened by accident. Totally by accident. Like, I had no idea. I think I was like 10 years old, and I was at home, and I was, you know, those little shitty massagers that you're just supposed to like do on your shoulder? You know, you're like, it just like shittily vibrates, you know what I'm talking about here? I was watching like, I don't know, like Full House or some shit, and I was like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I just went, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, does anyone else know about this? Like, I thought I discovered it. I'm like, I gotta tell someone. Mom! No. Look what I can do with my veggie. No, I didn't. Oh, my mom. My mom wants me to get married. And we're gonna get married, me and my girlfriend, we're gonna get married. But we're gonna do it like in a really, not in like a church or anything, we're gonna do it like in a lake. Like literally like in a lake. We're gonna be in a lake. Like I want all the guests. Yeah, you guys look good. You guys could be the guests. All the guests are gonna be in a lake. And we're gonna have our life jackets on, like diapers. You ever done this? It's the best. It's called diaper bobbing. You put it on upside down, you zip it up, and you just bob around in the water. And that's so sweet. We'll have drinks, and we'll have like magic mushroom hors d'oeuvres. Who knows? Just tripping balls all over the place. One person does mushrooms. Okay, that's good. Trudeau, fucking smoking the reefer at the wedding. That'd be sweet. I can't believe that shit's not legal already. That's nuts to me. It's crazy the things that are legal and things that are illegal, you know? Like alcohol is legal. I do way more stupid shit when I'm drunk. Like, I was coming out of a bar. Actually, this is not me. This is a buddy of mine. I was coming out of a bar, and it was like 2 a.m., so I was like super drunk. And this dude at the back of his van just decides to like moon us. He was like, boo! And so me and my friends were like, ah, that's his bum. That's so funny. And so we all start laughing. But my friend Jamie, he was so wasted, in retaliation, he just decided to pull his pants down and just whip out his dick. And we're all like, dude! And we all just like start laughing, and he's like, what? It gets bigger. Okay, not a fan of dick jokes. Okay, all right, I see you. I see you. The only time that drugs ever got me into trouble was when I was coming back from South America. And they found cocaine on my toothbrush. And, okay, no judgment. And they couldn't really do anything though because it wasn't evidence of anything. So they just kind of gave me like a little slap on the wrist. Like, yo, this better have been for recreational drug use. Well, yeah. Opposed to what? Competitive? Imagine we had competitive drug use. We'd have like the Olympics, except all the athletes had to be on acid. It's like bobsledders just like ripping down the track, no bobsled, just like, fuck it! Or ballroom dancers on ketamine, which is a horse tranquilizer. It's like dragging their legs across the floor. Wrestlers on MDMA, no one's fighting, everyone's just petting each other. Everyone's like, oh my god, this! I like getting drunk though. Always have big ideas when I get drunk. Like drunk sex, that's a big idea. Who here thinks they're gonna have drunk sex tonight? Okay. Normally it's a lot of people like, yeah, I'm gonna have some drunk sex tonight. It's always a big idea. You have like 2 drinks, you're like, fuck yeah, you're horny and you wanna like get going. And so I always tell my girlfriend, I'm like, babe, we're gonna have some drunk sex tonight. Because I'm super charming like that. And she's always like, oh yeah, sounds super great. But she's always skeptical because she knows that like 2 a.m. rolls around and I'm just like face first into a pillow with like my strap on barely around my ankle. Like I'm so drunk that I can't get my fake dick to perform, you know? Not that big. I want a dick. I would love to have one of those. Like, not to keep, like, those things look ridiculous, but like, just for like a week, you know? Some people are like, I would love a dick for a day. I'm like, a day? A day? A day. I would just spend it inside and be like, oh my god. Make it rain. But I feel like a week I could get to know it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I got questions, fellas, okay? Like, where does it go when you ride a bike? This blows my mind. I see dudes riding around on their bikes. I'm just like, where is it? Where is your cock? We've fallen asleep in the front row, and that's okay with me. It's okay, it's not demoralizing. It's fine. That's fine by me. Welcome to your first show, Adrienne. Everything's going well. They're gonna love your dick jokes. They're gonna love them. I'll sleep too. See how you like it. Here you go. Shit. Where was I? Dicks. I was talking about dicks? Is that where I was?
Yeah,
Ladies! If we had dicks, we would be so good at them. You know what I mean? Like, we would moisturize that shit every day. Cocoa butter every night. Do something with the balls. Decorate them. I don't know. Tie a bow. Do something. But guys, if you guys had your periods, you guys would be awful at it, you know? This total shit. Like, you'd be, like, super gross about it. It'd be, like, this big competitive thing between guys, right? They'd be like, how long are your period for, man? How long are your period for? What, 4 days? 4 days? Oh, mine's 5. Mine's 5. Heavy flow, brother. Heavy flow. I'm using supers all over the place. And I'm like, the marketing would be all different too, right? Like, it'd be like a big macho thing to have your period. Be like, yeah, blood, sweat, and tears. And then the commercial would just be this one dude, like, hucking a football. And then the football would, like, slowly torque into a tampon. And then the guy receiving it would just, like, grab it and just shove it in a beer to show its absorbency. He's like, yeah, totally works. Like a big metal font that just says, like, man pons or some shit. And it won't have a string. It doesn't have a string. It's got some crazy, like, ripcord release or some bullshit. They do that, though, in commercials, right? They make guys look all like, bleh, and girls are all like, nah, and it's frustrating. You know, gender misrepresentation in the media is so, you know, it doesn't do anything for our self-esteem. You know, I grew up, I was really self-conscious of my hair growing up because I didn't see it anywhere. I thought it wasn't okay to have. I was like, oh, you know, so I straightened it and I put it back in a ponytail and I did whatever I could so it wasn't what it was. And it wasn't until I got older that I was like, you know what, fuck this shit, you know? I gotta rock what I got and rock what's unique about myself. And now I love it. Now I really enjoy my hair. And the ladies love it, which is the fucking best. I do. I get like the most beautiful woman coming up to me all the time being like, oh my God, can I touch your hair? It's like, well, show me your nipple. All right, guys. Everyone clap really loud. We're going to wake them up. All right, here we go.
Well, let's keep it going, Halifax Pop Explosion comedy goers. You guys all chilling out. You've had a lot of good laughs. You're all enjoying your Millers. You're all having a Miller-like comedy time. But let's amp the energy up in here because we're ready for what we're going to get assaulted with right now. Let's put it together for America's Funniest Man. Let's hear it for Neil Hamburger.
This is Miller. Before we get started here tonight, I have a rather serious admission to make. I've been diagnosed with a terminal case of funny guyitis. Yeah! My doctor says it's contagious, so you'll all be coming down with laughter. Enjoy the show. Ugh, God. At what point? At what point? During a... At what point during a Julio Iglesias concert do most people throw up? When he comes on stage. lay Eric Clapton records down there on the ground so the dog can shit on them. And why did Eric Clapton, legendary 45-time Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Eric Clapton, guitarist Clapton, why did Eric Clapton switch from PC to Mac? Well, because he'd had a horrible experience with Windows. All right. And what did the good people, the good people of Nagasaki and Hiroshima have in common with Eric Clapton's infant son? Well, they all died from the fallout. But that's my life. What was it that the Grateful Dead, that the Grateful Dead were so grateful for? Well, that all these buxom teenage hippie chicks would have sex with them even though they were clearly mentally retarded. What is the worst thing? The worst thing, incidentally, the worst thing about being sexually assaulted by a member of Foghat? Well, it's probably not even an original member. Who are the ghoulish, the ghastly, the horrific, the archaic horror characters depicted on the back cover of every single Iron Maiden album? The band. What disease did Ben and Jerry, legendary ice cream makers Ben and Jerry, what disease did Ben and Jerry give to all the prostitutes in their hometown of Waterbury, Vermont? Diabetes. What do you call a man? What do you call a man wearing tight orange velvet trousers with a waxed mustache and a monocle and a jester's cap? Johnny Depp in Tim Burton's remake of Gandhi. And why? Why is Tim Burton's macaroni art so horrible? Well, because it's glued to Johnny Depp. Of all the various historical events, and there were many, that Forrest Gump was directly involved with, which one was he most proud of? 9/11. What is the worst thing? The worst thing about buying used toilets on Craigslist? Having to go over to Rob Schneider's house. Oh, man. We got some other gags. Why? Why did Ozzy Osbourne, disgraced Black Sabbath vocalist Ozzy Osbourne, why did Ozzy Osbourne bite the head off of a chicken?
Why?
Well, because his wife is a horrible cook. Hey, give me a chance to explain. Ozzy's wife, Mrs. Osbourne, decided one afternoon to make a wholesome, nutritious meal for her family that night. So she went down to the best meat market in Bel Air and purchased a chicken. Now, this particular market has very, very good reviews. It's been around since 1952. They sell their chickens frozen. That's because these chickens come from an organic chicken farm quite a ways away from Bel Air. Now, before these chickens are frozen, they do pluck the feathers off of the chickens. This particular market or this particular chicken wholesaler doesn't cut the heads or the feet off of the chicken before freezing. And so Mrs. Osbourne brings this frozen chicken home. Now, she decided to bread it and batter it using the famous Osbourne family recipe for chicken. I'm going to tell you the recipe. If you want to take notes, go ahead. It's corn flakes. That's the main ingredient. Egg white, 1 egg white. A quarter cup of water. A pinch of salt. Wheat flour. MSG. Pinch of white pepper. That's all it takes. Mrs. Osbourne overbreaded this chicken. She overbreaded it, folks. Well, she put it into the Osbourne deep fryer, where it cooked for 45 minutes. Because she had overbreaded it, it no longer resembled a chicken at all. It looked more like a loaf of bread, or some sort of giant amorphous blob. In any case, Mrs. Osbourne put it on a silver platter and brought it out into the dining room, where innocent Ozzy was waiting. Innocent Ozzy. He took his knife and he cut what he thought was the breast of the chicken off. It wasn't the breast at all, folks. In fact, I can reveal now for the first time it was actually the neck and the head of the chicken. And then innocent Ozzy took a bite at that point, inadvertently biting the head off of the chicken. To this day, he has no idea what happened. And it really wouldn't matter if he did know, because his brain was scrambled years ago from drug abuse. And his music reflects that. All right. Watch it. What else we got here? We got... oof. But times change. Times do change, yeah. Back in 1995, you remember that year? Wow. In 1995, what would you call 5 fingers that were grasping a small boy's penis? The Jackson 5! But now, it's 2015, folks. And in 2015, what are we referring to when we speak of the Jackson 5? The number of dollars left in Jermaine's bank account. And why? Why did Madonna feed her infant baby Alpo brand dog food? Well, she had no choice. That's just what came out of her breasts. Why did Gene Simmons, legendary Kiss guitarist Gene Simmons, add a sombrero to his on-stage costume? Why? Complete desperation. Hey, did you guys hear? This is a pretty remote town. Maybe the news wouldn't have reached you out here. And really, it's probably one of the nice things about living here is not having to get all these updates about Gene Simmons, who was a real piece of shit. But, did you guys happen to hear? I hope the answer is no. Did the news break up here about what Gene Simmons, Kiss guitarist Simmons, what Simmons did on Christmas Eve last year? Did anyone hear about this? Oh, yeah. Christmas Eve, 2014, the holiest of holidays. Gene Simmons himself asked his limousine driver to take him to Hollywood's legendary Sunset Strip. This was 10:30 at night on Christmas Eve. And then Gene Simmons stepped out of the limousine and walked over to a dumpster under which were sleeping 2 homeless street winos. And then Gene Simmons reached into his pocket, took out his wallet, and handed each of the street winos $700 in cash. Yeah. Merry Christmas, huh? I mean, it's not that impressive. The 2 street winos were Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. These were their annual royalty payments. Why did Gene Simmons, legendary Simmons, have original Kiss drummer Peter Criss's anus sewn shut? To prevent him from producing any unauthorized Kiss merchandise. What was it that Gene Simmons whispered into the buxom groupie's ear while they were making love that caused her to jump out of the bed and run to the nearest phone and call for help? He said, "Let's listen to my solo album now." What do you call the twisted old piece of plastic that Gene Simmons uses to pick up Marilyn Manson's shit in his backyard at the conclusion of one of these shock rock get-togethers. Alice Cooper. Moving right along. Hey gang, what do you call it? What do you call it when a sexual deviant is robbed at knife point in a public park by a homeless wino? A Wham reunion. Why did the sexual deviant love hummus so much? Well, because of the chick peas. In the world of chemistry, do we have any chemists here tonight? Yeah, we have a chemist. Where's the chemist? A real chemist, someone who works in the field of chemistry. Is there a chemical plant here in town? It doesn't seem like that type of town. Anybody here is a professional chemist or even a student of chemistry at one of the local schools? Anybody here have a science degree? Anyone here ever take a course in chemistry or science at any point? In elementary school even? Anybody familiar with the table of the elements? Anybody here at all? Anybody? I'm not going to throw hot soup in your lap for being honest. I put together this joke at great personal expense because I was told there was a convention at this hotel this weekend, the North American Association of Professional Chemists or something, and that we might get some of them coming in for the show, but I guess not. Well, we'll do the joke anyway. Is there another showroom in this building? Where are these chemists? In the world of chemistry, what is the two-letter abbreviation signifying human fecal matter? Jay-Z. Hey, have you guys heard? This has been in the news. Have you heard about this new John Stamos variety show that he's touring around the country? Anybody gone to one of these things? John Stamos variety show? It's supposed to be sensational. It starts out, it's a 2-hour-long show, and it starts out with a kangaroo hopping onto stage, straight from the Sydney Zoo. Kangaroo hops around on stage. Well, this music plays. And the kangaroo reaches into his pouch, which Stamos has packed with his own shit, with his own bowel movements. Weeks worth of Stamos' bowel movements. He fills the pouch up. And the kangaroo hops around and reaches into the pouch and thrusts these old feces into the faces of everyone in the front row. And then after a few minutes of that, Stamos himself comes out and drops his drawers and bends over and whistles Dixie out his asshole. And then, this is the showstopper, they bring a mule out on stage, a donkey. And John Stamos masturbates the mule to completion while the former lead singer of Frankie Goes to Hollywood stands alongside him playing an acoustic version of Relax. It's quite a show. But what is the one thing that you will not see at the John Stamos variety show. A full house. All right. Or at my show, for that matter. We got some other gags. Wow, is everyone else having a great time? You're going to see some of these. There's some bands in town, some of this live music. Anybody part of that? Anyone going to see any of this? Yeah, some of these bands, they practice so hard to do these shows for you. And they really give it their all. And it doesn't always work out, but you know that they're coming at it from the right place, which is to try and entertain you. And if they don't fill out a comment card, let the people know that they didn't meet your standards. That's the only way you can prevent those types of acts from appearing in the future. Why? Why did Phil Spector, legendary record producer Phil Spector invite up-and-coming actress Lana Clarkson up to his mansion? Why? Well, because he wanted to see her headshot. What is Britney Spears' favorite thing to put on her pizza? Her elbows. She-rated humor. We do some clean jokes. What do you call the creatures who were found growing in the pile of old potato chip wrappers and discarded G-strings behind Britney Spears' house? Her children. And why? Why did Britney Spears toss a dozen buffalo chicken wings into the toilet bowl? Well, because she mistook it for her own open mouth. We don't need the alternate punchlines, weirdo. I had a real hard time getting my associates through customs in order to come here to Halifax to look after me. I got a couple of guys. These guys served under Saddam Hussein. They are Iraqi assassins. Out of work, looking for work. They work for some of the local comics in Los Angeles, acting as informal assassins. By that I mean if we get someone like the young man here in the front who can't shut their fool mouth, I will at some point during the show scratch my cheek. That's a signal to my two guys. You may have seen them when you came in. They don't look like everyone else here. They look like Iraqi assassins. They see me do this, and then they wait for the second cue. Now, I'm not going to reveal what the second cue is. It's something that I say or do that pinpoints the exact seat where the person is sitting who I want taken care of. About 3 minutes after they get that signal, the person, in this case the young man here, in row A, seat 9, he will think it's raining outside and that the roof is leaking because he'll feel drips of water on his neck and shoulders. And he'll reach and he'll look up and say, well, that's strange. This is a 15-story hotel. Why would it be leaking? Or maybe there's a plumbing issue. Maybe the toilet is backed up and that's what's for it. but I don't see anything up there. And then he reaches and looks at the water that's dripped onto his neck. Well, it's not water at all, it's blood. It's your own blood, because one of my guys has shot you in the back of the head. Before you have a chance to really think about that, you've fallen face down on the floor, dead as hell. Nobody in the room is willing to testify against me or my team because they were tired, sick and tired of your garbage alternate punchlines. Somebody drags him out into the street. This is a hotel. They got 2 dumpsters. This guy's tossed into the dumpster with all the orange rinds and old tea and all that stuff. Nobody comes looking for him because nobody cares. Because if you interrupt a comic when they're doing their show, you're likely the sort of person that has no friends. You're likely the sort of person who's estranged from their family. No one comes snooping around. No one here will call the cops. They don't care. They're glad you're dead. Forgotten. That's what happens to you. So watch it, huh? These are professionally crafted punchlines. We brought them a very long way. I could have flown to the moon in the amount of time it took to get here with these carefully crafted punchlines, only to have you present your garbage punchlines while I'm trying to do my job. Come on, guys. Please, let's have some fun. Let's try and have some fun. Hey, why doesn't Eddie Vedder ever flush his toilet? Hey, there might be something in there we could incorporate into a song. What is the compass reading that will lead you directly into hell? South by Southwest. Why don't the Eagles masturbate together anymore? Well, because the public is more into electronic dance music. Knock, knock. Who's there? Justin. You're just in time. You're just in time, Mr. Ambulance Driver. Because DJ Diplo, one of the hottest acts on the electronic music circuit, has overdosed on cocaine. And he will die unless he gets immediate medical attention. Knock, knock. Dwayne! Dwayne, his lungs, Mr. Ambulance Driver. Dwayne's lungs have filled up with fluid after the overdose. After the cocaine overdose, his lungs are filled with fluid. If we don't drain his lungs, he will die. I'm not a doctor. Clearly, I'm aware of it. Clearly, I'm Bugs Bunny. But I understand that if we don't drain DJ Diplo's lungs of the fluid, he will die. And then we will never have music again. Knock, knock. Urine? You're in trouble, DJ Diplo. I'm Detective John Jones from the Halifax Police Department. We found illegal drugs in your pocket. You're going to jail for a long, long time. All right. Just trying to keep current. I can do Doobie Brothers jokes if that's more your speed. Hey, speaking of the Doobie Brothers, why does the Doobie Brothers manager absolutely insist, that on the side of the stage at every single Doobie Brothers concert, there has to be a small table on which is placed a hefty brand trash bag? Well, in case one of them dies during the show. do you stop Carlos Santana from molesting your children? You put a guitar in his hands. What did disgraced rapper Tupac Shakur have in common with blockbuster motion picture Ocean's 13? Well, both of them were shot in Vegas. Hey, how are we doing for time? I have no idea. Lots of time? Oh. Hey, gang, what do you get when you cross Sir Elton John with a saber-toothed tiger? What? I don't know, but you better keep it away from your ass. His deathbed, as he lay dying, why did Colonel Sanders reveal the secret of his 11 herbs and spices to Academy Award nominated actress Sally Field? Well, because he was desperate for a hand job. And why? Why did the Sanders girls, Colonel Sanders' daughters, absolutely refuse to eat KFC's new extra crispy fried chicken? Well, because it brought back too many bad memories of their late father's foreskin. Why don't rapists eat at TGI Fridays? Well, it's hard to go out and rape when you have a stomach ache. What is the only time you should take your grandparents to McDonald's? When McDonald's is paying $1 a pound for scrap meat. Oh, sorry. McDonald's. McDonald's is paying 66 cents for 0.45 kilos. Why did the farmer start a punk rock band? Because he was tired of Hall & Oates. Hey, how many folks here are going to go see some of these other comedians? This is mostly a comedy festival, a few bands. Anybody going to go see any of these other gimmick comedians? Any of the gimmick comics? You know, the gimmick comics? I don't blame comedians for having a gimmick, because really that's what audiences demand. Now, I was in Edinburgh, the Edinburgh Festival, a couple of years back. And I was told, Neil, if you want to come perform here, that's fine, but bring a gimmick. And I got into town and I prepared a gimmick. It took me 18 months to prepare this gimmick. I got in town and I went to see some of these other comics and see what their gimmick was. There's a guy in England. I'm not going to give his name. I'm not going to give him the publicity. There's a guy in England who's a star of the hottest British sitcom at the moment. He's a stand-up comedian. He was performing in Edinburgh the same year I was. He called his show Straight Talk, straight from the heart. I paid £30, you do the math, for a ticket to see this guy do his straight talk, straight from the heart. He comes out on stage and he says, "You all know me, you all love me from TV. I'm going to do something different tonight. I'm going to speak from my heart. This show is called Straight Talk, straight from the heart. And then he started telling a really sad story about his childhood and how he had been molested repeatedly by his own grandparents. He's telling this story. There's nothing funny about it. It's depressing. And then he unzips his pants, drops them to the floor. And somebody brings out a little bowl. I'll never forget this bowl. It's a white bowl with Chinese letters all around the edge of the bowl. Very nice bowl. Puts it on the floor and he squats over it and shits into the bowl. And then he continues telling these horrible stories of molestation, all the while masturbating into the bowl of his own shit. He ejaculated over the course of this hour-long show 5 times into his own shit. I'm sorry, guys. To me, this is not straight talk. It was the worst show I've ever seen in my life. And he got a 5-star review for it. It was bad. I've come up with something different. I've put together a joke in every language spoken on earth. It took 18 months. I don't speak all the languages. I speak enough to do the one joke. Anybody here speak a secondary language that we can do their joke? Come on! Anybody speak a secondary language? Any professional translators here who translate for a living? Anybody speak anything other than English? French. Okay, I can do that one. That's an easy one. Last night I had a young woman who was in the front row and I asked the question. She said, "Neil, I am from Nairobi, Kenya. Can you do a joke in Lingala?" I did the joke. After the show, she came up to me and she said, "Neil, your Lingala was perfect. The joke itself was garbage, but your Lingala was perfect." We'll do a joke in French. That's an easy one. They also speak Swahili in Kenya. We could have done that too, but she spoke Lingala. 2,116 languages on Earth, folks, and I've got a joke for all of them. We want French? Okay. What? What? What is the French phrase? The French phrase meaning a place where garbage was dumped. Jim Morrison's grave. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. Now we're done. We can't. That's true. We're going to do something else. This is something. Why was J.R.R.R.R.R.R. Tolkien in such a hurry to get to the methadone clinic? Well, because he was desperate to get rid of his hobbit. What do J.R. Tolkien's readers have in common with Al-Qaeda? Well, neither group was able to get all the way through the 2 towers. On an all-star comedy tour. An all-star comedy tour starring Dane Cook. Carrot Top. Aziz Ansari. And Gallagher. would deserve the longest standing ovation? The pilot that flew the tour plane into the side of a mountain. And why did Carrot Top, legendary Vegas prop comic Carrot Top, why did Carrot Top absolutely refuse the pleading requests from the topless Playboy playmate who was naked in the jacuzzi with him? Well, because she was begging him to shoot himself in the head. Why doesn't Liza Minnelli put her empty vodka bottles into the recycling bin? She's passed out face down on the floor. It's not a priority. Ugh. What is the worst thing about Fred Durst's herpes? His music. What is the only thing uglier than Limp Bizkit fans? Limp Bizkit merch. Some of the bad fonts that they use. What does U2's music have in common with the Somalian refugees? It's poor. Oh, God. How was Beetle George? Beetle George Harrison? How was Beetle George able to correctly diagnose arthritis in a middle-aged fan who approached him for an autograph at London's Gatwick Airport? Well, there was something in the way she moved. And what did Beetle Paul McCartney exclaim as he jumped out of his seat in order to declare the winner of a contest at which he was the celebrity judge? Anyone hear about this? Beetle Paul McCartney, Sir Paul McCartney, Beetle Paul. He was the celebrity judge at a public urination contest in Manchester back in 1998. And when he watched 150 contestants come out, piss into cups, the 151st contestant came out and Beetle Paul knew he'd seen the best. He knew this was the winner. He knew that none of the other contestants had a chance. Beetle Paul, who was doing this for charity, decided at that moment that they had a winner. So he jumped out of his seat and he exclaimed, "Peed best!" This was very funny because Beetle Paul, it was because the original Beatle drummer was local fire department. Your local fire department. Where are you from? All right. Why did the Halifax fire department fill one of the water tanks on one of their fire trucks with human shit and piss and spray it all over a fire? Because it was the arcade fire. All right, we'll do it on. We'll do it one last show. Hey, folks, after the show, this is wrapping up. There's lots of music and songs. There's jugglers. And there's, I think, one of the people on the Pop Explosion is a pizza chef, and people pay. They just want to watch him toss the dough. It gets you 5 stories high. It's a sensational show. You got to see it. We got some free Neil Hamburger movie postcards at the table. Grab that on your way out if you're a freeloader or cheapskate. You want something free of charge, it is free. I mean, it's an ad, so of course it's free. All right, let's go out on a high note, huh? Ugh. Trying to squeeze a few drops out of this. Knock, knock! Mike. My God. Whitney Houston died last year. Knock, knock. Tom. Tomorrow you should all go out and buy her greatest hits CD. Knock, knock. Dave really got to figure out a way to stop great artists like Whitney Houston from leaving us prematurely before they have really had the chance to fulfill the initial promise of their talent. Knock, knock. Corey. Coroner says she may have taken drugs. Knock, knock. We'll never know, will we, why someone with the talent of a Whitney Houston would choose to throw it all away and get tangled up in the world of dangerous pills. Knock, knock. Ivan. I want to know if Dr. Conrad Murray was somehow involved in this mess. Knock, knock. Anus. A nostalgic feeling for the music of Whitney Houston is a natural response after a tragedy of this magnitude. Knock, knock. Oprah. Oh, probably. There's some folks here tonight wondering, why, Neil? Why have you turned my big comedy night out into an unofficial wake for Whitney Houston? Folks, there's a reason behind it. Every act you see at the Pop Explosion Music Festival will be doing something similar. Showbiz people stick together. Whitney Houston was one of our own. Every single act in showbiz is built into their set as a finale, a tribute to Miss Houston. That's just the way we are. Showbiz people are good people. I never knew Whitney Houston, but I know that she would have done this for me had it been I passed away prematurely from unknown causes. Knock, knock. Wilbur. We'll bury her body, but we'll never forget her music. Can we please have a round of applause for Whitney Houston? Knock, knock. St. John, where we performed last night, were twice as loud as you guys. Do you mean to tell me that's the best you can do? Can we please have a real Halifax round of applause for Whitney Houston? Make it loud! Whether it's up there or down below, Whitney Houston, Whitney Houston! Knock, knock. Is Dr. Scholl here tonight? Dr. Scholl. The foot guy, the podiatrist, Dr. Scholl. You know these products in the blue and yellow wrappers, right? How many folks are wearing Dr. Scholl insoles in their shoes tonight? How many folks have purchased his creams for bunions or corns? Dr. Scholl, is he here? Is he here tonight? I was told he might be. Is Dr. Scholl here tonight? No? Okay. If Dr. Scholl is not here, if Dr. Scholl himself is not here, crawling around on the floor, on his hands and knees, inspecting all of your feet, and diagnosing you with plantar warts, then you have no reason not to be standing on those feet with a standing ovation for Whitney Houston. Get up! Get up! Whitney Houston, stand up! Stand up! Whitney Houston! God bless Whitney Houston. God bless Nova Scotia. God bless John Wayne. God bless Robin Williams. God bless all of you. Give yourselves a round of applause